I'm with Riham Jafari from Action Aid Palestine. Now, Riham, do you have workers in Gaza?
Yes, we have local staffs and we have our partners. We work there through our partner organization, local partner organization, in addition to our staff.
And did you lose contact with your partners at the moment?
When the internet was cut sometimes when the electricity was cut, we sometimes lose the connection. But usually we communicate with them. If they have internet connection, they communicate with us. When the internet was cut off Gaza, we lost the connection with them, which was on 27th and 28th of this October, so at the beginning of this week. So we lost the connection, and thankfully that some of the connection was restored, but still we sometimes face connection issues regarding because they do not have the charge to charge their mobile, and sometimes they do not have internet in some parts of Gaza.
It must have been quite worrying when you lost contact with your people.
Yeah, because we do not know if they are still alive or not, and because the situation is very difficult and it's very catastrophic, and there is a continuous bombing, and many of them, they were forced to flee their houses and to change their places for more than 3 or 5 times, and there is no safe place in Gaza, so we do not know if they were still alive or not, and so we were worried because we need to know that if they keep alive or not.
And what do your workers do in Gaza?
We have some humanitarian and development programs there for youth, for women. This is in usual condition, and Gaza is all the time under emergency situation and under emergency conditions. We have humanitarian programs that respond to the emergency need for the people resulting from frequent wars and frequent escalation against Gaza. And we work with women also through local partners. We work with youth people, and we also focusing our work with women in economic empowerment activities and also on psychosocial support through our local partners. And also we work with youth in raising their awarenesses and in promoting their leadership in society there. And also we work with Bingo, the Palestinian non-governmental organizations networking on some issues. And with Ma'an Development Center in environment and climate issues. But now we are focusing our work on emergency and the humanitarian response, and I think that we have a lot of things to do if we hope that this war could be stopped soon and an immediate ceasefire could be reached soon.
So are you giving out food and water and things like that at the moment?
We tried through our local partners, WIFAQ and Al-Auda Hospital Science, providing some medical supplies at the beginning of this escalation. But this we are limited due to the available capacities and the sources in Gaza. You know that Gaza is under total blockade for more than 24 years, and there is a limited amount of humanitarian aid entering to Gaza. And this is if we have the money and if we have the capacity, but we don't have the resources first, and we need to ensure the safety and the security of our staff and the staff of our local partners. And our staff are part of the population who are in Gaza that are concerned about the safety, so they cannot move and go in Gaza. We also work on some cash emergency assistance through the cash and UN clusters. So now we are coordinating with other humanitarian and aid agencies to ensure that we could deliver the assistance that the people need under these conditions, because the movement is restricted. There is limited sources of capacities there, and our partners cannot move, and we need to make sure that their safety is the top priority for us.
Is this vital work that you're doing in Gaza?
Yes, this is very vital. The people are suffering. The people experience a humanitarian catastrophe, unprecedented humanitarian catastrophe due to the continuous bombing for mosques, churches, for hospitals, for houses and residential buildings. There is a severe shortage of fuel, and this impedes the work of hospitals that some of them declare their inability to continue their work and operation under this condition because they do not have fuel to generate electricity for working. And also there is a shortage in food items due to the increasing number of internally displaced people who are forced to move their houses from the north of Gaza and heading to the south. So there is the top urgent need on the ground to reach immediate ceasefire, to allow safe access for humanitarian corridors, for humanitarian aid to end, and to increase the quantities of a humanitarian aid, because what is reached and what it is delivered till now, I think it is 100 trucks or 102 or 3, which is a drop in the ocean, and they do not cover 2.2 million people living under war conditions.
And I think as well the aid is going into the south rather than the north, so you've still got people in the north who aren't really getting any aid at all. Is that right?
We do not have clear information about that, but what we know that there is a limited amount of humanitarian aid entering Gaza. And we also stress the fact that we need that aid should reach all parts of Gaza, because all people are suffering, all people need humanitarian assistance. There is no clear water. As you know, that the water is undrinkable because there is no fuel for generators to pump and to produce clear water. They drink salty water, and this causes many infectious diseases and many waterborne diseases. And so many people, if they are not killed or if they are not injured and attacked through this escalation, they might be died because of the waterborne diseases, because of this pollution. So this catastrophic situation, this humanitarian catastrophe will lead to a humanitarian and environmental catastrophe and crisis in Gaza. So people, what they wish now, to have clear water, to have drinkable water.
What was food, water and electricity like before the war?
You know that Gaza is under a blockade for more than 16 years. There are some problems. There are some problems of lacking food, of lacking some electricity. Electricity is not all the time before the war, and sometimes they depend on the water and the clear water. But now the situation is getting worse and worse because there is no electricity. There is no safety for the people to move and bring water or bring food. If there is some people are talking that there is a wheat in Gaza, but we do not have the fuel to make the bread. They are targeting bakeries, and bakeries that provide food and bread for the people are being targeted while the people are lining and where they are standing in lines to get their bread. And this is unacceptable. This is a collective punishment. This constitutes a war crime against the people who are civilians and who should be protected. So, yes, turning to your question, there should be a solution to the root causes of this humanitarian situation. Even it gets worse now and it is become catastrophic, but before Gaza has never been in a good situation due to the long blockade, road, air, sea blockade, denying the people from enjoying their human rights.
This has been happening time and time again, but is this the worst it's ever been?
Yeah, according to the analysts, to the media, that it has been the worst because the number of victims are huge, the number of injured are huge, the total blockade, and we are not here to see that this time is worse than the previous war. What we need to say that war should never happen. People should not be attacked. Civilians should not be attacked. The root causes for the suffering of people of Gaza, which is 16 years of illegal blockade and more than 57 years of occupation, should be ended. So Palestinian people, civilian people should enjoy their rights according to the humanitarian and international law.
Have you been to Gaza?
Yeah, 4 times. I missed, and I have good memories in Gaza, hoping that this war will end and we can see and our friends and colleagues there. And we hope that every day we call them that they are alive, that they still alive. We all worried about the time that they will alive. This is main wishes. I think when we call them main wishes to keep alive and to have clear water, to have drinkable water to drink. This is a wish for the people.
You get emotional when I ask you that question.
Yeah, because, Gaza is very welcoming. very people, very generous. I remember when I go there, all my colleagues, all friends, they are fighting and struggling to invite me to their fish, to their delicious food. That I'm sure that they are lucky because they cannot reach the sea to get the fish. This is very important. Their delicious food. They are very generous. They are. You see, even it is a densely populated area. The people are very, very keep high moral. When you walk, you do not hear anything. They keep protect me. I have never been attacked or listen a bad word as a woman walking in Gaza street. They show a high moral, a high commitment. Everyone if you have a friend in Gaza and know that you are in Gaza, they keep welcoming you and invite you to their houses. They love life. They go every day to the sea, which is an important thing for them. But now I think that it is impossible under this situation for them to go to the sea.
Can Egypt help at all by opening the border?
So the problem is not in Egypt. I think that what we need to save the security, the safe access of the humanitarian aid, the humanitarian trucks after crossing Egypt border, then the security and the safety of these trucks and the people, the humanitarian aid workers should be insured, should be protected. And so the problem is not Egypt, the problem is in the one who is targeting civilian, targeting humanitarian work, humanitarian aid.
What is your prayer, finally, for Gaza and for the people of Gaza?
What we pray as other Palestinians and other people believe in justice and believe in human rights and believe in humanity, to end this war, to reach immediate and permanent first ceasefire and then a permanent solution to their suffering. We do not to see from and to experience from time to time to experience a war. This is unacceptable. They need to live. They need to enjoy their life. We cannot imagine how the people, the children, after the end of this war, will continue, who lost his parents, who lost the woman, who lost her sons and her brothers and her family. I think that this suffering will continue for generations, and we need to work to stop this suffering, to be prepared to the response, to recover the people, to help them to recover, to continue their life. And I think that this pain will not be forgotten by the people. We are talking today about 24 days of intensive, continuous bombing for the people.
What's your website for people who'd like to know more?
Action Aid Palestine, and we have Action Aid UK, also our colleague Action Aid UK. Maybe Action Aid Palestine, we do not post many things, but when our Twitter, Action Aid Palestine and Action Aid UK, we have a lot of things about the situation, the humanitarian situation, the water, the food, everything. The woman, you need to know about the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. Also, you can find it there. Action Aid International, Action Aid UK.
Okay, Riham, thank you very much.
Thank you. You are most welcome.
We invite you to check out If Israel Targets Civilians or Bomb Institutions. It's not only a physical war, but a war on truth. Pray for the people of the Holy Land.